Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Martine Brisson, and today, in my little message of hope, I'm with Shenan Chanaria. Shania?
Shenan Charania, yes.
Okay, sorry. And he's
Nice.
a transformative leadership coach. Welcome, Shania. Shenan,
Th-
sorry.
Thank you for having me.
Um, so we'll ask you the same question that I've been asking everyone: is that how does having this understanding of the way people work. How does that help you navigate either the COVID-19 lockdown or whatever other stressful situation you have in your life?
Yeah, it's been a real blessing. Just knowing the understanding of thought itself, like that itself, is such a blessing. I'll speak to what it's like during the COVID-19 pandemic. So during this time, of course, in the beginning, there was a collective stress and fear and anxiety. And for me, I just found myself quite grounded. Like, yes, I was scared a little bit too, but I found myself that I was looking at what is possible instead of, getting so distorted that it was paralyzing for me and I was personalizing everything.
Mm.
It was more like, where could this go? What would be the repercussions of that? And as soon as I started to look at that, it's almost like I had this neutrality where there's something going on, and then there's this ability that I have to make meaning of something that's going on,
Mm.
right? So sometimes I explain it as like there's life, and then there's you're thinking about life, and the two are completely different, right? And so with this understanding, just knowing that the two are separate brings so much more capability and grace in how we want to navigate that. And for me, it's been exactly that. It's just like, okay, well, practice your capability to navigate things. You don't have to make meaning. You don't have to buy into all the interpretations that your mind is producing. And every time a feeling is created, it's coming from thought. Knowing that is a world of a difference than thinking that it's coming from the situation or the circumstance or even whatever future thoughts that you might have about where this is going. And so it has really helped me see things more clearly as a complete side effect, not trying to see it clearly, but just having the understanding helps you see it clearly, more than not. And the second piece that's been extremely helpful is that I've been able to help a lot of people with that. In my circle or community or whatever you want to call it, um, obviously the people that don't have any sort of understanding in it, uh, they were more they were more likely to succumb to that collective fear and stress and really get up in their heads and go into straight panic. For example, I have friends that have lost their jobs because their companies have closed and they still have a mortgage and they still have
Mm.
to operate their daily lifestyle, and all of a sudden they were told that not only do they not have a job, but they don't have a chance of coming back to that job that they have a degree for, that they studied for, because the company's closed. And then on top of that, they have all the bills to pay. And on top of that, the government's like, you have to stay home now by yourself with your own thoughts.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh my God. So helping them see that, wait a minute, there's a process that's happening inside of our mind. There's a creative process that's always projecting images and making meaning, and helping them just kind of create a gap between that and what's actually going on. And then bringing that to my existing clients. And I created a free Facebook group that was kind of my response to give back. It's called the Global Community Connection.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm doing 2 Zoom calls a week there. Everyone's invited to join that, and we just kind of go through this understanding, like what is the experience, what is the understanding, help people just create that gap between what they're experiencing versus what's actually happening. And so it's been a blessing to do that as well. A lot of my work had stopped as well. I do a lot of speaking actually in schools and outside of schools, working with teachers, working with nonprofits, and all of that in one day was like
Mm.
nothing is happening, right? So that bought me a lot of time to do something with that time. Started to create this community online and also do a lot of free coaching. So that's another benefit, is that when we're grounded with this understanding, and we can sort of, not that we, I don't feel like it's a bulletproof thing. You know, of course, you still feel the
We're
fear
still
and stress and
human.
anxiety. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. But the fact that we can separate it, automatically just go, okay, I'm feeling fear and stress, but it's not from the situation, it's from thought. Um, it really allows us to move through it much, much more gracefully. And it doesn't have to perpetuate. Whatever we're feeling doesn't have to perpetuate. It doesn't have to be attached to something outside. And we don't need to go around putting out fires and trying to create change when we have all these distorted perspectives that we're living from.
Mm-hmm. Like Michael Neal said, we were talking earlier with Michael Neal, that he said is the difference between, you know, when there's a storm on top of like the ocean, is to pay attention to all the waves in the stormy first bit of the ocean versus looking at the deep end of the ocean.
Ah, yeah, I love that. That's a great explanation. Yeah, he seems to be the king of analogy, doesn't he? He's got a lot of good ones.
And on the spot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's very great. Well, thank you, Shannon, for your time. And also thank you for your little initiative. So I will take note of that, and I
Yeah,
will put
sure.
that with the interview. So if people want to join the conversation
Absolutely.
and to look deeper into that, I'll do that.
Cool. Okay, sounds
So
good.
other than that, where can people find you?
Yeah, so Instagram, Shenan Charania, just all one word. I have a Facebook page. The profile I don't post so much on, but the Facebook page I'm quite active on. Again, Shenan Charania. And my website is www.shenancharania.com. So you can reach me at all three anytime.
All easy.
All easy. Yes, it's the perks of having this unique name, right?
Well, thank you for your time, Shannon.
Well, thank you for having me, Martine.